How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. And the more support we get on Red Hood videos, the more likely I am to continue doing more Red Hood stuff. So, this chapter is phenomenal, as usual so far. Seriously, this is one of my favorite starts to a new manga that I've seen in a while. This has just been great through and through. So, we start off just going over the rules real quick. We got 2 cops, 30 robbers. The 30 robbers being all of our participants, the 2 cops being Grim and Debonair. It's the same rules as the kids' game. If a cop wants to capture a robber, they have to get him, have him go to jail. A free robber can free an arrested robber, and they can both go. However, there is one additional rule that Debonair has set, that her and Grim both have to actually handcuff a robber for them to go to jail. This actually ends up being pretty key. On top of this, the time limit is 2 hours. Great. Awesome. Oh, and Debonair also states that her and Grim will stay on the rooftop for 5 minutes while everybody else gets a chance to run. So, awesome. Great. Everybody starts turning the gears in their head. Debonair sees this, and she goes, alright, that's great. Awesome. Glad you guys are doing that. Let's go ahead and start. So, everybody starts freaking out and running away, and then we see Milty look back and go, why aren't you running? This is when we get to see Velo, Bonkers, Mario, and 3 other people that we aren't acquainted with standing there, haven't moved a single bit, looking extremely determined. It's an awesome, huge panel of our MC and crew, and this was hype. Starting off right away, I didn't expect this. I expected everybody to be running and planning as they run away. But to see all of them standing there steadfast, that was great. That was an awesome way to begin this chapter. So, Velo starts saying that running right now seems like a bad idea. There's a contradiction in the rules to this test, and I kind of want to test something out and see if I can confirm something. But I'm not sure, so if you want to run away, that's fine, I get it. Just come back and save me if I get arrested, okay? Tilty's already just like, no, wait, what? No. What good is that for me? That doesn't help me. Mario's the one to turn around and say, no, it does benefit you, actually. If we're right, it's possible everybody can pass this test. And just in general, without anything being confirmed, no. Tagging somebody to free them does help you. The more bodies there are to distract the cops, the better your chances are. So you want as few people in jail as possible. It is in your benefit for as many people to be free at all times as possible. That's just rule number 1 for the robber side. So we get introduced to the first of the 3 strangers that are standing up with the MC and crew. And this woman is well endowed, like Debonair, and she just grabs Velo up in a huge old bear hug, squeezing him in tight, saying how splendid it is for this young man having all this courage. And I dunked on Bonkers a little bit last chapter, I ain't gonna lie. Not a ton, but I dunked on him a little bit. He's moving up this chapter. 1, he's standing there with everybody else. That's something I didn't expect Bonkers to be standing up like that. Alright, so yeah, number 1, that moved him up. 2, Velo's sitting here getting smushed by, what's her name again? Miguel Geiga, I guess? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. That's probably exactly wrong. I don't know. Anyway, Velo's getting smushed, and he's like, oh, I'm Velo. Bonkers is over there like, yeah, and I'm jealous. Yep, Bonkers just moved up the list on Hunter's Guild Red Hood characters. So Tilty looks back to Milty and says, come on, let's go. We don't need none of that. Milty's a little hesitant on this. You can see it. She goes, right, okay. And then goes. Milty's probably sitting there thinking to herself a little bit, at least I imagine you would have to, thinking, we've failed this multiple times. Maybe we should try something different. That thought has to pop into your mind at some point. I mean, it's got to. But anyway, they leave. Debonair likes what she sees. She likes seeing these people stand here, taking a different approach, thinking to themselves, what's the best way we can do this? She can tell the gears are turning. She can tell that they're trying to make decisions based off information that they see with their own eyes. Grim tries telling her that she's being soft on him, but Debonair says, no, that actually is a lot tougher than it looks. And she's right. To stand there in front of the 2 of them and not immediately run away, that takes a lot of... whoo. Alright, so anyway, Velo ends up mentioning that this is an exam to become hunters, but through the rules and setups, we're just prey. That doesn't make sense, and he is 100% correct. If you pass this test just by running away and hiding for 2 hours effectively, that means you're good at being prey and not getting caught. Great. That doesn't prove you can be a good hunter. And that's what this exam is supposed to prove, that you have the ability to become or be a good hunter. So yes, there is a contradiction there in and of itself. So the 6 of them are getting a plan together. We don't get the inner workings, obviously. It works much better if they make up the plan and we see it unfold in front of us. And this is when time effectively runs out. So Debonair and Grimm are on the hunt, and we get an awesome, huge panel of the 2 of them. It was great. I almost used it as a thumbnail, but I figured, you know what? I haven't really given the MC a good thumbnail yet, so MC and crew was a good choice. Anyway, they're coming out. Grimm's like, we're going to massacre you all. Grimm, no killing. It's part of the rules. No. So this is when we get the guy that we still have not gotten the name of or anything, and he pops up and says he'll occupy the instructor, talking about Debonair. So, okay, he's setting a high bar for himself right away, just stepping up like, yeah, I got it. So he says, secret elixir, Liu Fang Zheng. Sorry if the pronunciation is, I don't know. Pronunciation's probably going to be terrible. Forgive me. So he eats whatever this secret elixir is, starts making some different sounds, words, no, I'm not exactly sure what they were, and then he says, and this gets Debonair's attention, and then he says, Chirikara Suta Po. Lets out a huge gust of wind, like it's literally a Fusro Da from Skyrim that just blasts straight into Debonair, by Debonair's admission in her head, stopping her in her tracks. Now, this probably isn't 100% maximum power Debonair, but still, that is impressive. So I'm going to need my phone for this explanation. I'm not going to remember all this. The fruit of the willow and 100 mystic herbs, mushrooms, and powders, mixed for 1,000 days, steeped for 10,000, molded by secret art, passed from heir to heir alone. Thus is created the mystical elixir Liu Fang Zheng. Taste one and your tongue will flap like a flag, swallow one, and great gales of wind will roar from your throat. Camp participant, Nulo Zhao. That was dope. That right there is how you make an introduction for a character into a manga. That was amazing. And before we even get to breathe, we get a secondary little introduction, and we get flying circus wire arts from Porshen the Juggler. And this just ties up Debonair and Grimm before they can even notice what's going on, so the speed at which this happened had to be pretty impressive. And then we get Bonkers going in for a strike on Grimm, and Grimm tries to say, do you really think these ropes are going to hold us? Smashes Bonkers straight in the chest, but he's a tank. He just takes it, no problem. And he immediately says, no, we don't. Bear hugs Grimm. This is when Velo comes around out of nowhere, and this is when we flash back real quick to them formulating their plan and going through their basis on why they think something is up and they shouldn't run away. It all revolves around this special added rule about the handcuffs. The handcuffs are somewhat of a contradiction, and they also add a vulnerability for the cops that isn't there beforehand. So this adds an element for them to work around and find a different solution to the fight rather than just run away. This has to be the point of the hunter's exam. You have to be able to do things like this when hunting these mystical, crazy, insanely powerful animals. Sometimes you're going to have to find workarounds and take the fight in a different way. This is a much better test than simply running away from the 2 of them. So they decide they need to go after the handcuffs. The very final panel of the chapter saying the handcuffs, they will let us go from prey to hunter. The entire point of what we're doing. So yeah, all of the people that ran away, big mistake. You're failing. You're doing the wrong thing. Velo coming through as a true MC. I really enjoyed his action in this chapter and his wherewithal to see that something isn't right about this. I absolutely love when I can see somebody do that in a manga, and the way it was told throughout the chapter with revealing certain information later on instead of giving us the whole plan, the whole idea behind it early on and then acting it out. It was done phenomenally. So yeah, you end off with Porshen throwing ropes through like 3 different handcuffs on Debonair's hip. You have Velo coming out of nowhere. Grimm can't even move. She's like bear hugged by, well, assuming she can't move, bear hugged by Bonkers right now, and Velo's going straight for her pair of handcuffs. And yeah, it's looking like the plan is going extremely well. However, this is probably going to be turned on its head the start of next chapter. I doubt getting the handcuffs is going to be this easy. I am sure that Debonair and Grimm have something up their sleeve to where it's not just grab it, yank, good, yay, we did it. No, it's not going to be that easy. And yes, plenty of people will just say this is a copy of the bell test from Naruto. Sure, whatever, there are plenty of similarities, but we're not going to go that far into that. Some things can take inspiration from other things. It's okay. It's kind of how things are done. So, anyway, I enjoyed the chapter. I hope you guys did. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.